So I actually have a question for Brian, because I'd like to know, when did you first realize the importance of that human connection? You know, I think in healthcare, we sort of go into this work, right, because we want to help and we want to connect with people. But, you know, when did you realize that you don't have to be a healthcare provider, right? Human connection is important for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I realized it much earlier on stage than I did off stage, very young as a magician, because it's very obvious when you're a performer, at least it's obvious to many. Some performers just kind of go up and just say their thing and totally are not aware. And it's very clear when you watch somebody like at an open mic when they're not in tune with the audience at all. You know, they're doing comedy open mic and nobody's laughing and they go off and like, I killed, what's next, you know. That's you know, okay, so sometimes it's clear that they're not paying attention, but most of us are actually very introverted off stage, as a, you know, which you've probably heard a lot about comedians and performers. So I've always been very in tune, very sensitive to other people, and when you put yourself as a performer in an environment, or a speaker, when you put yourself up in front of hundreds of strangers and ask them to judge you in real time, it's a very difficult thing. And so early as a magician, I would feel like the audience didn't react the way I wanted them to. Not that there was a specific reaction I wanted, but there was a feeling, something I was trying to give them as a magician, a feeling of wonder or excitement. And if they weren't getting that from what I was doing, I needed to figure out what was wrong. And I think early I realized, oh, I'm not being present, I'm just doing a rehearsed bit. And I'm just kind of doing it at them. And my mentor, when I was like 17 or 18, he told me bad magicians perform at their audiences, good magicians perform for their audiences, great magicians perform with their audiences. And that's how I learned it as a magician, but it took an embarrassingly long time later in my personal life to realize why relationships kept failing and friendships kept failing eventually, and it was like, oh, it's the same thing.